Hey, y'all, listen. It's a Friday night, okay? Listen, it's Friday night and it's trending topics. We made it through the first week of the 2024 year. Give it up. And in week one, Katt Williams, he shut the week down. Matter of fact, he shut the internet down so bad, we might as well put in for a Katt Williams Day. And for those that work, maybe we can have it as a national day off at work. Come on now, Candy. Come on now. You better give up the numbers. 18 million views and counting. Oh my gosh. That man shut the internet down. Shut it down. 18 million views and counting. And it's only what, day 3? Honey, bow down. He said he was the king. He said when he walk in the room, the heads go down. That's what this man said. He said they go down because they already know that he don't take no mess and he don't play no mess. Now, if you've been in these streets like I have, you will know that everybody that responded, they ain't really say nothing. They just big mad. They didn't really say nothing. Not one person came straight out their mouth and said he a liar. Not one. I looked at all. I looked Faison. Ludacris done did a whole rap, showed his sideburns and all of that. He must have took some vitamins and grew that hair overnight so he could come and do that response. Ludacris came out. Everybody. I'm glad you caught a live too. I'm glad you here. All you got to do is hit the like button. Hit the like button. Come on now. Hold your attention the entire time. It don't even feel like 3 hours. That's when you know he's somebody. Didn't even feel like 3 hours. Even Shannon Sharp himself, he said, I could have kept talking to him more. But he said he was tired. He had to go. Imagine sitting there 3 hours straight talking to somebody. And he said, for all of y'all out there that was waiting for him to ask all these inquisitive questions, he said he's not Barbara Walters. You want an interview like that, you got to go over to CNN, 48 Hours, Dateline, Nightline, something. Come on now. Even Ricky Smiley really didn't disapprove of Katt's version. Disprove Katt. Come on now. He didn't disprove it. No, he did not. And then even what's his darn name? I'm going to show him today. Why is his Ice Cube? Even Ice Cube, he told some twisted up stories. So what I came to the conclusion was I hit the gavel on Katt Williams told the truth. No lies detected. But we'll talk about it. And then, I love y'all. I ain't mad at y'all. As long as we all talk respectfully, I ain't want to say you got to agree with me. I ain't mad at y'all. Y'all was like, but Diva, you said silence is golden. Silence is golden. But if you know the difference with this Katt Williams interview, all of those comedians, they went to Club Shay Shay and ran their mouth first. So he came to tell the truth. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Come on, come through. Hit that like button. Give the Diva buy the ticket on the Diva train. Hit the like button, okay? Because the train pulling out tonight on Friday night. We're going to talk about it. Listen, this Friday night is dedicated to For the Love of Money. I was going to play that OJ song, but they don't sell the license to it. For the Love of Money. So we got to add Katt Williams back on the docket. Yes, he was very captivating. Ice Cube was trying to walk in the middle. Yes, come on now, Special K. You gave me the words. Yes, he was. He was trying to walk in the middle. But basically, he said Katt didn't lie. You come on, girl. I appreciate you. You said it perfectly. Yeah, he tried to walk in the middle. Get out of here, Ice Cube. Just say the man didn't lie. What's the big deal? But you know why he didn't want to say that? Because he don't want to fall out with none of his other friends. So he was playing on the fence. Get out of here, Ice Cube. I detected all the nonsense in your little speech. Listen, You can't get mad at Shannon Sharp. He said it took him a year to get that interview. Persistence is key. Persistence is key. Okay, that's why yesterday I said, give it up, give it up, give it up. No, the last count is 18 million. Felicia, go back. I think somebody told me it's at 18 million now. I'll go check it out later. Yeah, he was on the fence, but I broke down Ice Cube words. He wasn't on the fence. You caught his own lies and his stuff. He was trying to be diplomatic. But you let the people talk long enough, they tell on themselves. Listen, this is about for the love of money. That's what we're doing this Friday night. So Katt Williams is back up there. Then we got Taraji P. Henson. Oh, good God. And this is my example of silence is golden. She went over there. Who she do that interview with? Was it the New York Times? Yeah, I think it's the New York Times. When you in the same fight for over 2 decades, what I got going on my head here? For over 2 decades, and you still losing that fight, there's a problem. Houston, there's a problem. Let me see what my lighting here. My lighting acting up. Let me see if I can fix my lighting. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah. You in a fight, the same fight for almost 3 decades, and you still on the losing side, that's problematic. It's problematic. I don't care how you do the math on that. It is problematic. You are still on the losing side after a 3-decade fight. So she do the New York Times article, and she talk about, when I was on Empire, the trailer, it had bugs and roaches and rats, and I'm exaggerating, y'all. We're going to get into our article. It had all of this stuff, and then I go down the street to the other people trailer, and it's looking like the Taj Mahal. So you stayed in a roach, rat-infested trailer for 6 seasons, and you was playing Cookie. Y'all was playing this whole gangster family, and you didn't get gangster with the people. You should have took a picture of the nice trailer and came back and took a picture of your trailer, and that's the stuff you should have released to TMZ or whomever, or went to the executives and said, I will not be sleeping in no rat-infested trailer, and when I go to my home, I don't even sleep in a home like that. Taraji, we trying to stand by you, but girl, we're going to talk about it for the love of money. Then Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is suing Tasha K. Well, at this point, who not suing Tasha? Come on now, y'all can y'all hit the like button? Can y'all hit the like button? Who not suing Tasha now? But Kevin Hart said she got a whole lot of shell companies. So in other words, he's trying to say she hiding the money so she don't have to pay the people. What was that rapper? I did this story the other day. He was trying to hide the rapper from this girl that he owed, I think, $7 million. And the girl was relentless for years. Are y'all getting the theme here? Be persistent. For years, she went after him for her money. The game. Come on, y'all. Thank you. Yes, went after the game. She went after her money. And the judge, she hit that gavel and said, yes, he playing games. He had these shell companies. And so now he got to pay. So Kevin is accusing Tasha having shell companies. Either way, this thing turns out, this ain't a good luck for Tasha. Listen, I wouldn't want to be that stressed out. I don't want nobody suing me. I'm not trying to sue anybody. Listen, I want to go out there, live my life, and do my thing. We're going to talk about it, but it's for the love of money. And a lot of these people are saying, where's my money? Listen, I'm about to board this train. Y'all know what I need in that chat. I need a what? I'll look at y'all. Come on through, catching the lives. Come on. You know what I need in that chat? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It's Friday night, and for the love of money, the people in Hollywood, Black Hollywood seems to not be getting paid. Good gosh almighty. Black Hollywood's not getting paid. So they want to know where their money at, where their money be. I'm aboard this train. I'm going to bring the people on in the building, and I do got a song for you. We got a little song to play. Hold on now. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey, Leo.
Hey, the mighty OJs, for the love of money.
For the love of money. But, honey, because, you know, the Diva train can't afford that license, we got another one. Let's hear this song as I bring the people in the building on this Friday night. Hold on now. It said, give me your money. He said, give me your money. Come on now. Let me bring the people in.
Walking down Broadway, just minding my business. This man steps up to me and says, you know what time it is. Give me your money.
Shoot now.
I say, no, I won't. He said, give me your money. Because you know what I'm going to do if you don't. I tell him, listen, you don't know who I am. He says to me, you shut your mouth, cause I don't give a damn. Give me your money.
Give me your money now. Come on now. They want their money, Black Hollywood.
Give me your money. It just may be the last thing you do. Now, it's obvious to me that he don't know his way around. Cause I'm the king of Broadway and I own this town.
Y'all need to hit that like button. Don't want this show to go down. Hit that like button. And give me your money. Come on now. Hit that like button. Hit your ticket.
That's that juke joint music.
Come on now, yeah, and you got the right artist there. Go ahead, girlfriend. Yes.
Yeah.
The beer garden.
That's what he sell the chicken sandwiches in the back.
Quick as a wink, I get the drop and make him stop before the man can blink. I say, give me all your money.
He said, give me all your money.
This isn't your night. Didn't your mama tell you? Never bring a knife to a gunfight. You give me your money. Don't tell me you won't.
For the color
You give me your money. Or I'll put a hole
That's
in
right,
you
the
if you
sugar
don't.
shack. That's it.
2 weeks out of diapers, he thinks he can take me.
There you go, y'all. Give me your money. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me turn it off. All right, now. This is how we starting our Friday night, okay? Give me your money. That's what the artist said. Give me your, come on now, show the dollar signs there. Come on now, give me your money. Because this show is dedicated to for the love of money. Now we're going to go ahead. Okay, shout out to Club Shay Shay. We tried to take a guess last night where he would be today. Somebody confirmed it for me, but someone told me in the chat, it's already at 18 million views. Shout out to Shannon Sharp, okay? Now, we're going to go back and talk about Katt Williams because everybody responded. He got these people hot in the streets. Ludacris done made a whole rap freestyle talking about instead of like Nene Leakes said she was cashing Trump checks. Ludacris said, I'm cashing Fast and Furious checks. Okay? He got the people, their panties are in a bunch. Do you hear me? He pissed the people off. But let's hear, and I need y'all to really listen. We about to break this thing down. Let's hear how Ice Cube tried to walk the fence. Okay, tried to be in the middle. But he wasn't in the middle. He fell onto Katt Williams' side and he don't even know it. And that's why I said with Katt Williams, we detect no lies. Let me see where I put this Ice Cube response at. We're gonna hear Ice Cube say it for himself out his own mouth. Hold on now.
What's cracking? It's your homie Ice Cube. Just wanted to address a few things. You know, everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. You know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, we shot that movie over 20 years ago. So, you know, people have different perspectives and it's been a long time. I also want to say, you know, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, you know. I don't, you know, I look at from, you know, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, you know, Ricky Smiley, Michael Blackson, Cedric, Kevin Hart. You know, all these guys I know are funny as hell. You know, I didn't discover them. You know, they were doing their stand-up or doing their thing, and I knew that they were great and that they could act, and that you know, if I have an opportunity, I was going to give them an opportunity. You know, to me, that's what it's all about. You know, as far as, you know, specific things, you know, Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying, a couple things, you know, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, you know, comedian, we do have them try out for different roles. So Ricky did give Money Mike a shot. But when we saw him and, you know, we kind of saw how he moved and how he was, you know, auditioning, we decided that he would be a better, you know, Santa Claus, which was, to me, the perfect casting. When we saw Mike, damn, I call him Money Mike. When we saw Katt, you know, when I saw him, I just knew that he was perfect for Money Mike. And, you know, Katt, you know, said he wrote his role, which, I mean, the role was written, but he enhanced it. This is why Katt was so dope in the movie. You know, Money Mike had a small role, you know, about as big as the Santa Claus role, but when we start filming, he was giving us such magic that we kept expanding his role, giving him more to do because he was on point. You know, when we shoot these movies, you know, for one, the scripts are fire, or they wouldn't even do it. The scripts are laugh out funny. But we shoot the script, but once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, you know, play with the words, do their thing. You know, we give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. You know, sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. You know, when somebody gives you jewels, you want to try to make sure that makes the movie. So in the movie, there's second thing I want to clear up. It was never, I would never shoot a rape scene in a movie, especially like Friday, where you actually see this happening on camera. That ain't my style. If you check out any of my movies, they not raunchy. we did a movie called Players Club where the subject matter was a little raunchy, but for the most part, even that, we left it to your imagination. So the only reason that kind of stuff was in the movie is because you have 3 villains in Friday After Next. You have Santa Claus stealing presents. You have Damon, just got out of prison, sweating Craig and Dady for the rent money. And then you have Money Mike, a pimp that treats his woman, like a property. So Craig is always fighting the villains in the movie, from the Joker brothers to Debo. And so we already had Craig fighting Santa Claus. And the only real way to get rid of the other 2 villains was to have them go against each other. And the plier joke was always in the script, was never, we would never ever show that, that's not my style if you look at any of my movies. So, that was never a discussion, we, at that point in everybody's career, we would listen to a certain extent, but we wasn't gonna change the movie for any actor. We do what we feel, and if it was a rape scene, it would have been in the movie. There was no reason not to shoot it. But that's not my style. I don't even like that kind of shit in movies, on camera. And so, that was, to me, a little discrepancy there. Katt, he wrote a lot of his part because, like I said, he was giving us jewels, so we were keeping the camera rolling. He was coming off the dome. He was coming prepared every day to steal the show. That was his mission. And, that's what he did, with the movie. And it launched his career, And I'm proud of the movie. I'm proud of all the guys who've, come through, a Q Vision production and went on to do bigger and better things. And look, a lot of people are talking about pay and how much they was paid on these movies that were extremely low budget. Most of these guys work a couple of days, and when you're doing a movie, there's over 100 people working on the movie that need to get paid. Most of them got to get paid every day. And there's pre-production and post-production. Even after you finish with the actors, you got to pay editors and sound people. And my movies are all about quality. So most of the money go up on the screen. I'm not giving you no bullshit. I'm not giving you no low budget, shit you can laugh at because it's so cheap. So, we try to put all the money on the screen. And so any actor that's mad at what they got paid, just look at what you was doing. Look at where your career was at the time. Take a look at where it is now. And Friday has something to do with that, I believe. And I put a lot of people in movies, but they ain't never put me in a movie. So you could take that for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? I've given a lot of these guys opportunities. And I still act, so I'm waiting for a call. I ain't got to produce everything or write everything. I got love for all the comedians that I've worked with. Got, much love for Katt. He spoke up for me a lot. And I just wanted to be clear and clarify some things. And shit, man. I hope y'all have a good 2024. Yeah. What's cracking this, your homie?
Come on now. Wait, hold on. Let me stop this. Let me stop sharing.
He basically validated.
Hold on, Julius. Let's remember we gotta go in order. But he full of crap. So you want to talk about how you don't pay the people at your movies because you put all the money on the screen. But that's what Taraji talking about, not getting paid. Then you want to cry and talk about you put all the people in your movies, but nobody calling you to put you in their movies. You said, I still act. You said he didn't write Money Mike. But what he said was he put his own spin on Money Mike, pretty much. And that's the same thing you just said. What's his name? Ricky Smiley pretty much said, he got the role, he didn't get the role. Katt Williams was better for the role, and he happy for him. Well, tomatoes, whatever. That's pretty much what Katt Williams said. Enhanced was his word. Come on, Felicia. He enhanced it. In other words, he made Money Mike to what it was, to the point where now you can't tell Katt Williams from Money Mike, because as you telling your story, you called him Money Mike. So he did the darn thing. So give it up to him, Ice Cube. And all of the people that I heard, their responses are very similar. None of them came straight out and said the man is a liar. Not a near one of them. Then this man going to say, well, the people, they worked every day, so they got to get paid. You don't think so? Come on now. Of course you got to get paid if you working. And he going to talk about how you put all the money on the screen. That ain't my concern. If I work, sir, give me my money. And somebody said it earlier. Chris Tucker didn't come back because he wasn't getting paid for Friday. He said, if I didn't get paid for Friday, I'm sure I ain't going to get paid for the next Friday and the Friday after. Because Ice Cube, you don't pay. What that song said, give me your money. Leo, your thoughts on Ice Cube response?
It's what I call Millie Mout. He Millie Mout. He is he twerking on the fence, like Kim Paya say. He treading the line. He don't want to offend nobody, especially not Katt Williams, because he did not call him a liar. He just said, I would never put a R scene on film. But as I remember, the one time that I watched the Players Club, it was disturbing, that scene. And it wasn't on camera either, but it was still disturbing.
Come on now, talk about it.
So to try to make like that's not what you do, well, that is what you do, because you did it before. It's what you do. Yes, it is. You parsing words like it's not something that I will put on camera, but I leave it to the imagination. So Katt Williams didn't say it was supposed to be on camera. What he said was it was in the script.
Come on now. And what you said, Ice Cube, was it was in the script.
Yes, it was in the script.
Come on now, talk.
So, don't play us up top like that, like we don't get it, but we do get it. We get it. I don't know why you had to come. Silence could have been golden for him, because he didn't have to come up here and say nothing.
No, he did not.
He had to come up here and say nothing. Boy, them hit dogs will holler, won't they?
Won't they though? But he was trying to say Ricky Smiley. He wanted, I'm sure he probably close to Ricky Smiley and Katt Williams. And he won because Ricky Smiley said he was hurt and so was his family. So I guess Ice Cube was like, well, let me come out and tell, what happened with this role. And he was stuttering. Ricky Smiley did. But when I saw Katt, I just knew he was Money Mike. Just stop, Ice Cube. No, that man came in there, slayed the role, rewrote the role, and then you had to call Ricky back up and say, I'm going to keep you in, but you got to be the Santa Claus. Because this man came through and slayed it.
And, as far as concerning the money is concerned, right? Just like you said, Chris Tucker knew, because none of them got really paid for Friday, but Friday was a massive hit. It was a massive hit. Yes, it was a commercial hit, and it was an underground hit too. So Chris Tucker already knew. I don't think that it's just about the question about what they didn't get paid. You didn't offer them any pay. You didn't offer them what they was worth. And that's the point.
Come on now, talk about it.
That is the overall point. when these people say they did these massive movies because somebody got paid and it looked like it was him. Somebody got paid because he got paid on the back end. He might have not didn't get paid on the front end, but he got paid on the back end. Somebody got paid, and it wasn't your talent.
Right. LV said that. She said, like Sheep by Sheree, Ice Cube don't pay. Oh my goodness. Thank you. In my opinion, you're up.
Listen here. Let me tell you something, Diva. Okay. All I heard was he was right. I want to help Ricky Smile out just a little bit. I'm gonna throw him a bone here and there, but then I'm gonna come back and say, but Katt Williams was right again. And then I'm gonna tell you how hard it is for me, and don't nobody look out for me. And then I'm gonna come back to Katt Williams and say, but he been looking out for me, so I respect him. And then I'm gonna go back and then say, well, didn't nobody put me in their role in their movie. Oh, that's all.
On to you. Turned it on
me a river. Okay, that's what they should have said. Cry me a river. Yeah. So consensus is Katt Williams told the truth.
Boom. And we're 18 million and counting. Nikki, you up?
So this is troubling to me, only because listen, Ice Cube and Tupac, they were like my little boyfriends in my head, as Wendy Williams would say, until last year. But I agree with Leo, because I was gonna say he's definitely is the best twerking on the fence I ever seen. Because he's not standing on anything, if that makes sense. To me, he's not like putting his foot down. Like I feel like Katt was very much standing deep in his truth in the video, and he didn't stutter, he didn't mumble, he didn't do any of that. So that's to me what makes it believable. This to me gives credence, and Lord knows I am not anybody's, what do you call it, conspiracy theorist, but it gives credence to what Katt Williams was saying about the, what did he call it, the 100 Gatekeepers Club and all that. It feels like, because I don't know if y'all noticed it, but Ice Cube only said the names of the people that Katt Williams brought up. So to me, that's weird. Like there's hundreds of thousands of comedians out there that I'm sure have auditioned, worked with, and whomever else, but you only seem to mention the people that Katt Williams mentioned. And I get it is in reference to what Katt Williams saying, but it feels like you are trying to in some way be a shield for these comedians or whatever the case may be. Again, like I said before, please use your Miranda rights. I just don't understand why these idiots keep getting on the internet when you could later have to be deposed. All this information could be used against you later. So I'm just like, I just want y'all to sit down and shut up. And the last thing I wanted to say was, I just felt like there was multiple Freudian slips. So he said Katt Williams multiple times, but he meant other people. So he meant Kevin Hart is one of the ones that I heard him. And so to me, I'm gonna believe your Freudian slip all day long before I believe all the other I almost said some words that you're saying, because I feel like all of the other stuff is something scripted. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like he sat there and he kind of talked slow and whatever else to try to make it seem like this is me coming from my heart and my truth, but I just don't believe none of it. Like absolutely any of it, with the exception of the Freudian slips. I believe you meant exactly what you were saying when you were saying things that were coming from truth out of your brain versus all this other stuff. So it's a no for me. And I agree with opinion. I think all you did was get on this thing because someone told you needed to. So that you could just say, I'm not going to say anything against anybody. That's really what, because even though he kind of said something against Katt Williams, he really didn't. And then after he did, he dressed it up. Yeah, I still love him. It's just like, get out of here. You sound like Ricky Smiley. But anyway, that's it. That's all.
Thank you. K and J, you said Katt has everyone fooled. Oh my, okay. Yes, he said some truth, but he also said some lies. Go back and you can find Katt's troubled past too. He is lacking accountability. She said, but I'm on the train alone. Oh my goodness. All right. You may not be on the train alone, but I hear you. Felicia, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's doing good. Diva, I have a question. was Mr. Jackson saying that the people on this film were per diem workers or not?
All I heard is they didn't get their money. and don't be trying to act like he don't pay, because all the money go up on the screen because he don't give you crap. And then he said something about, you know, the workers, they because they worked every day, they was expecting to get paid. I mean, I ain't never go to no job and work and didn't expect my pay. Like, what are you talking about?
He said they got paid that day. What I heard was, because I've been in the staffing industry, he had a bunch of temp workers on set. So he had to pay the money for the temp workers. He didn't have professionals on set. He had like lighting people and set, organizers and stuff like that got paid daily. And they do get paid every day.
Even the extras get paid every day.
Miss Sharon, yes, it's live. Well, go ahead.
So,
oh my gosh.
So based on that tidbit of information I have, and this film was what, 2002 or something? They say the going rate for per diems now is $25 to $100 a day. So I'm finding it, when I was listening to Mr. Jackson, he was saying, well, these people come to me to my they ain't get paid, they ain't get their money. I think this trend that we're hearing about the truth, particularly a Black performance of not being compensated, is real. So I think this is the next layer down. So where we had the calls of plagiarism and misrepresentation, now we're getting down to the compensation. So a film that grosses $80-something million, and you put it up on the screen, folks are now coming back and asking, where's my money? Why wasn't I compensated? And so his response is, well, you never gave me a job. You know, you didn't call me in to be in your film. And I find that kind of how we move in culture. You know, we say, well, you know, how come you wasn't looking out for me? I don't owe you that money. And so it's unfortunate. But I think, again, this is life lessons. And a lot of people are learning a lot about this business that want to be in it. You will not be compensated. It's all smoke and mirrors unless you get really good agents and you have a really good lawyer and you make sure that you're making the kind of decisions that are going to be beneficial to you. I'm done.
Whew, all right. Wayne, you're up.
You know, first of all, I mean, this is a perfect example of you don't have to comment on everything.
Okay.
I mean, second of all, he said all that and they ain't say nothing. Now, he preempted everybody with, this was 20 years ago.
Come on now.
So the only thing he said different from Katt, you know, the areas where he was talking about Katt Williams was saying, okay, 20 years ago. Okay, that's your perception. That's his perception. Okay, but it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, and it's for people saying that, you know, he didn't write the role. The role was already made. You didn't already pretty much said you found out this man was a jewel.
Come on
and
now.
He knew what to do.
Come on.
And he knew what to do. So you're going to tell me that if something was in the script, you said that y'all don't change, because he said they had the first whatever script, you know. So you're not going to tell me that he couldn't have came in there and said from the beginning whatever it was. It's like, tell me what got to be done and I'll do it, and he did it. Okay, so Cube, whatever his name is, he could have just not even come forth, you know. But what he wants to do, he's gonna walk that fine line where nobody can say he said this bad about him or he said that, because he's sure. I mean, it was like you know, at the end of a movie where they read the credits. He must have read about 9 comedians' names. That's like giving them some acknowledgement. Okay, but this is supposed to be about Katt Williams, you know. But like I said, he said nothing. He really didn't. I mean, he ain't say nothing to put him in no hot water. I mean, he had, you know, enough sense to do that. So he's gonna be looking good pretty much in their all eyes. Well, he ain't say nothing bad about me. Katt Williams can't say that because Katt Williams, he's telling the truth. Katt Williams is the one coming out that he looks like the truth teller.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good.
I hear you. Come on now. You spoke to the people. You know, people are in arms, right, about this man saying he read 3,000 books a day. If you listen to the interview, he also told you he left home at 13 and he wasn't in school. He wasn't in school. I don't think he's claiming to read 3,000 books a day now. Or a year, I don't know, whatever he said about the 3,000 books. But understand that this man was not in school. Yeah, come on, he said over the whole year, right? I don't see that being far-fetched. I got friends that could read a book, the whole book in a day. Now that's not me. I could listen to the whole book in a day if I'm not doing much, because some of these audibles, they 8 hours. But there are people that could knock out a book just like that. I don't know. But I hear y'all. Some of y'all are just done and saying, you know, Katt didn't tell anything earth shattering, and I hear y'all on that, right? E, you're up.
Hey, well, I can't tell you how many books Katt read, but I know he read more books than Ice Cube, because people who read well speak well, and we just saw Ice Cube speaking. And then he followed that by saying, nobody's calling me to offer me a job. Well, if this is the best you can do at public speaking, I can see why the phone is not ringing. How about that? So I don't know how many books he read, but I can tell he read a lot. For somebody who dropped out of school, I'm assuming he must have dropped out of school based upon what you all are saying. He sure does have a vast vocabulary. Better than T.I., if you ask me. So I'm not going to be able to dispute if he read all those books. I just know he's a captivating storyteller. And people who are captivating storytellers often read a lot of books. Makes sense to me. But first of all, if nobody was going to disagree, I have to follow Wayne's point of view. What was the purpose of turning your camera around, hitting record, and selecting upload? It's giving clout chaser what Ice Cube is doing. And if he was just going to agree with everything Katt said, all he needed to do was leave a comment under the video. We would have saw it. It would have had that blue verified check mark. This was unnecessary. But it adds credence to what Katt said. You just want your name next to a real one. That's what you wanted in the headlines. And Ice Cube said that Katt brought the magic. He was on point. He was funny. He brought jewels. That's what he said in regards to their working relationship. I didn't hear him say any of that about Ricky. Now, Ice Cube said also he does not do movies with the R word. And Leo took the words out of my mouth, because when Ice Cube said that's too raunchy, then he mentioned the Players Club. Instantly, my mind went ding, 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 because Ice Cube did have an R scene in the Players Club. And I quote, "I just came to dance for y'all. That's it." Y'all don't remember that line? Or am I the only one? Okay. Junior R-worded Ebony, and it's in the film. Also, he did a movie, NWA, and the Eazy-E movie. Ice Cube said he doesn't do raunchy, but that movie was about violence, the N-word, cheating, and scheming to be on top. When Ice Cube says he does not do raunchy, I need to remind the people of what raunchy means. Raunchy is defined as vulgar and often sexually explicit. So what that tells me is Ice Cube is a fat Faison liar. That's what he is. And if Ice Cube doesn't do vulgar, why do all of his CDs have parental advisory on them? What does he think that means? You're not Warren Sapp. You're not Trinity 5-7 or Yolanda Adams. What is he talking about? Ice Cube's movies promote premarital sex, violence, colorism, and premature funerals. So stop all of this nonsense. It's just January 5th. We just got started, and MLK Day is right around the corner. Stop all of this foolishness.
And I will concur with E, because I was an Ice Cube fan. Back in the day, his albums was Death Certificate and America's Most Wanted. And the words was I mean, repulsive. Okay, and I loved it. Thank you. Well, you spoke a word, E. Amen.
Ooh, ooh. Well, there you have it. You see, when you try to get up there and play defense and you're not telling your truth, you see how lies are detected? Tay, you're up.
I hate go behind E. Well, you know what they say, the truth set. I love you too, E. The
Oh,
truth.
okay. What is happening?
Anyway, the truth set you free because you tell the half truth. Oh no, you better tell the whole truth. The whole truth. Swear on the Bible, tell the whole truth, but nothing kick you by the butt whoop. Okay, and don't play by my money. Don't handle my money. I handle my money myself. Okay.
Ooh, they said you ripped the runway, E. Thank you, Tay. Julius, you're up.
I am connecting with E. She said what needed to be said. And I just want to add a little something. Ice Cube basically validated everything Katt Williams said. And for everybody in the chat posting about Katt Williams running with the law, he always talks about it. He doesn't shy away from nothing. He doesn't shy away when the couple of times he didn't have any money. So he's always been real about his stuff. That's all.
I appreciate you. Well, listen, hopefully this let up soon, because every blog I go to, even TMZ, Page 6, all of them are talking about how pretty much how Katt slayed these streets. He slayed it down. Even Shannon Sharp, he's cutting these things up into pieces, and even the pieces are darn near at 1 million views. So Katt Williams started off 2024 with a bang. Okay. She said, you can't spray me with my own tea. I own it. Woo. Ice Cube, you tried, but I think it was an epic fail. But we're gonna move on, and I will say this. I'll just give a little quick update. What's his name? Chris Tucker actually said that he didn't want to do any more of the Friday movies because of the weed. That's what he said. Because he turned the new leaf allegedly, and it was against his morals, and he didn't want to be responsible for the people in the world, puffing on the weed. Now, he said this back in 2021. Holy smokes. Chris Tucker states why he refused to film Friday sequels, okay? Chris Tucker, who started in 1995 stoner comedy Friday, is coughing up the real reason he refused to reprise his lead role as Smokey opposite Ice Cube in the Flicks follow-up films. And he's not just blowing smoke. One of the reasons why I didn't do Friday's sequel next Friday is because of the weed. Okay. So he pretty much said that he doesn't, that wasn't for him anymore. So he grew out of the role. He said he didn't want to do it anymore. And that was that. So we're going to move forward, everybody. I'ma see now. I don't know. The darn thing is almost at 20 million. I think by the time the weekend is over, that interview is probably going to hit 25 million. Think it's going to hit 25 million. So we'll do another little poll in the chat. Where do you think this interview is going to be by the time Sunday night hits, or maybe even Monday? I'm thinking 25 million. Put your guess in the chat. And let's move on to the next story. So Taraji, good. Taraji, if I had to guess, Taraji is a little bit upset with herself. If I had to take a wild guess, she's upset with herself because I want to say Taraji is 53. And you know, at different stages in your life, you start coming to your own conclusions on where you should be, what you should have, and what you wish you didn't do or did do, or so forth and so on. Taking a wild guess, not saying I'm right, that Taraji is looking over, because in the moment she did what she had to do. She might have did a movie and took the pay because she needed that money at the time. But now she's looking back and she's saying to herself, I lowballed myself. I didn't respect myself by accepting this pay. And now she's mad at the world, but really she's mad at herself. So she did an interview with the Times. She's still crying about the bad conditions, the poor pay, how she got to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. And I'm just trying to figure out, after all of these years, did she not pick up any good tools on how to really fight this fight and win? Now, I don't mean to do this to her because I like Taraji. But we got to poke the holes in this thing and hopefully help her get a good girlfriend. Because there's ladies in the business that are winning. We said it. Angela Bassett, she winning. You're not going to get a mic in Angela Bassett face saying that she was in some trailer that was rat infested and she's not getting paid. They over there bringing the Pellegrino water to her trailer. The limo's picking her husband, and them kids up from her house and bringing them right to the set. They calling Gucci and everybody else in there to dress her. They got the top makeup artist. And Taraji's still out here talking about she don't know. If it's only 10 of y'all in the industry, y'all should all have each other's numbers. Y'all should start talking to each other. Instead of you still at the bottom of the ground, Taraji, fighting, and you still ain't getting no better conditions. Taraji P. Henson is tired of fighting. The Color Purple star talks candidly about her battles to get cast and paid her worth, okay? Even as an Oscar-nominated veteran, she had to audition for her new film. Now, y'all got to talk to me. I don't know. So once you get at a certain level, you no longer have to audition. They just supposed to call you up and say, I want you to play such and such. I thought everybody still had to audition, but maybe I am incorrect, okay? This is crazy. Yeah, I hear you, Human Nature. You saying because Angela Bassett is getting executive producer. Well, shit, in Taraji, she almost 30 years in the game. She paying people 30% of her money for what? So that she can walk to the set of her movie? I cannot. So before things get started to click for Taraji P. Henson, she sought counseling from the man upstairs. Is she sure he responded to her? She said, I had a talk with God a long time ago when things didn't pop, she said, invoking the woman she had watched as a child like Carol Burnett, Lucille Ball, Betty Davis, and Diane Carroll. She told him, I want longevity and work that matters. Okay. Then Henson has had, at 53, she was an Oscar-nominated actress with a long career that includes films like Hidden Figures, Hustle and Flow, and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. She also spent 6 seasons playing the music industry monarch Cookie on the Fox series Empire, a juicy role that netted her a Golden Globe and Critics' Choice Award. But she is candid about the frustration she still faces in an industry that undervalues Black actresses. The fact that I made it through is a blessing because a lot has happened, she said, noting that she had to step away from work last year when things got to be too much. She took a month-long trip to Bali. I wonder if she visited Russell Simmons, helped her to recenter her, as did attending to her successful beauty brand TPH. Okay. I have a brand now, so I have other things to pay the bills. She keep talking about these bills. Because the way I'm getting paid in Hollywood, I sure won't be retiring off of those sorry checks. In mid-December, I met Henson at a hotel restaurant in Beverly Hills to discuss The Color Purple, a new big screen take on the Alice Walker novel, inspired by the stage musical and directed by Blitz. In the film, Henson plays the fabulous and well-fed blues singer Suge Avery, whose confidence inspires abused Celie to find her own voice and even for a potent moment between the woman to know love. Henson had been offered the same role when The Color Purple was on Broadway, but turned it down for fear of how demanding the production would be, 8 shows a week, and Suge sings gospel, blues, and jazz. She said that's a lot. So she don't want to do too much work. She still found the material daunting when singing on the new film, but it thrilled her to push through that fear to make the character her own, drawing inspiration from close to home. Whenever you see me playing those Southern women, know that I'm my grandma, Henson said. My grandmother's still very much a lady with her pearls and her clothes, and she's very conscious of how she looks when she goes out still. She goes to the salon and gets her hair done, gets her nails done, and she raised 9 children on a sharecropper's income. Henson is proud of the work she put into film, but she had to fight to get cast and be paid her worth, and her spirit is still sapped from all the negotiating. She noted that at least she had one of the producers of The Color Purple, Oprah Winfrey, in her corner, but these battles she had to wage alone too often. So you see, she gave a little homage to Oprah Winfrey in this article. It hurts my feelings when it's not reciprocated, but I know this world is cold and nobody really cares, and you got to go out and fight for what you want, she said. What else do I need to do to prove my worth? Now that I'm singing and dancing for you, and I climbed up on the table 88 times with my knobby knees and had to ice my knees in between takes, what else do I need to do? Girl, if you can't handle the role, let somebody else have it. She said she had to ice the knees while she was doing The Color Purple and Suge Avery. My manager called me during the pandemic and was like, you've been tapped for Suge Avery. They're remaking The Color Purple. And I was like, God, why? It wasn't until I spoke to Blitz and he told me his radical vision that I felt 2 reasons I needed to do it. One, because it was a Black director, and we get to own the narrative this time. We don't wallow in the muck of our trauma. We find joy. We go to church. We dance. We sing. We're vibrant. I just knew it would look different. Blitz saw something in me. I became a mother my junior year of college, and everybody was trying to get me to go to New York and pursue musical theater and music. But the music industry just seemed a bit dark and uncertain to me. But the acting industry did not. These are Taraji words, y'all. Diva ain't making this up. When you become a parent, you start thinking differently. I couldn't tour. I have a kid. Who was going to protect me in this daunting industry? So I was like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be music. And I never looked back. I don't see how she thought a career in acting would be any different than music, but we'll carry on. Because the people in the music industry, they would tell you also that they get ripped off. They get like penny on the dollar for their album. They on the top 10 list and they still living in the projects. You better look at the what's that story with Bobby Brown, the New Edition story. Well, it was an easy yes to him. Oftentimes in the industry, you can be the director's choice, but not the studio's. So I had to audition. I had to check my ego because I was like, why am I auditioning? I mean, I get the singing because there's nothing out there that shows me singing like that. But I had to sing, dance, and they read me. I was like, ouch. Was it when was the last time you had an audition? She said, I don't even know, because at this point I'm a Golden Globe winner for Empire. Well, Empire is not that old. It's within the last decade. Okay. An Academy Award nominated for Benjamin Button. So I went in there with a chip on my shoulder. Y'all hear her words? You let the people talk long enough, they tell you what the problem is. I went in there with a chip on my shoulder because I was like, you will never second guess me again. I found a dress that was very shug. I did my hair up and put a flower in it. I wore a faux fur shawl. And I went in and literally kicked the door down. He was like, do you need to rehearse? I was like, no, let's go. Vic tells it like within 20 minutes, she sealed the deal. But I'm ready. I'm really getting tired of fighting. I'm tired of proving myself. It seems like every time I break a glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate for another job, I'm right back like I did nothing. I almost had to walk away from The Color Purple. So she says that again. So 1 minute you're saying, love Oprah. Now you saying I almost had to walk away from The Color Purple. What are we doing here, Taraji? I had a chip on my shoulder. While you were negotiating. Yes, I haven't had a raise since 2018. Proud Mary. And I still didn't get a raise. They don't care. They're always looking for a deal. And they're trying to pay you the least amount. I remember on Empire, I was fighting over trailers. The stars used as their home base while shooting. That's a whole nother book. I'm arguing over trailers, and then I go down the street to Chicago PD, and they got the nice ones. Why you didn't take a picture? You understand what I mean? I'm tired of fighting. So you audition for Suge and win the role. What's next? I get my vocal coach, Steve Mackey. So she mad. She had to pay for all this herself. It's about the money, people. It's about the money. And I worked with him for 2 months to find my voice again because I have stopped singing like that since college. And I do what I always do with all my characters. I write my backstory, what happened to Suge. Yes, things are in the book, but then I add my musical sauce to her story to make it mine. The most important thing while playing these characters with bigger than life personalities is if you don't handle it with care or get the why that person is the way they are, then it becomes a caricature and no one cares or empathizes. Cookie was like that. If I didn't give the why to her, she just would have been a sassy Black woman. What was the most daunting about playing Suge? I was very confident in my acting, but I do the work. But I was nervous about my singing. Fantasia's nervous about acting because singing is her thing. So we held each other's hand and lifted each other up. What you say, Tay? Lift me up, the Rihanna song. Listen, I'm not going through now. Come on now. I'm not going through the rest of this. Y'all get the point. She's still crying about money. She's decades in the game. She's still getting cheated. She feels like, oh, and I forgot the most important thing in here. She said she had to fight for a driver. She had to fight for a driver because they was giving rental cars to get to and from the set. And she was like, hold on, because I don't want y'all to think I'm making this up. Let me go back to this part of it. They asked her, what did you fight for? She said they gave us rental cars. And I was like, I can't drive myself to the set in Atlanta. Shout out to all of y'all that live in Atlanta, because she's saying that's her saying it's dangerous. She said this is insurance liability. It's dangerous. Now they robbing people out there in Atlanta. She said, what do I look like taking myself to work by myself in a rental car? So I was like, can I get a driver or security to take me? I'm not asking for the moon. They're like, well, if we do that for you, we got to do it for everybody. She said, well, do it for everybody. Then she said, it's stuff like that, stuff I shouldn't have to fight for. I was on the set of Empire fighting for trailers that wasn't infested with bugs. She said, it wears on your soul because you fight so hard to establish a name for yourself and be respected in this town to no avail. With Black films, they just want us to take, they don't want to take us overseas. And I don't understand that. Black translates all over the world. So why wouldn't the movies? I have a following in China, of all places. Y'all not capitalizing on that. Girl, you not capitalizing on that. They said if they don't open the door, then you have to go and bust down the door yourself. Holla at Atlanta. She said, y'all out there, you're savages out there. That's what Taraji said, not me. She ain't talk nothing about the traffic. She said, you're robbing the people. She needs security. She said, Atlanta, y'all savages. Leo, you're up.
Whoo, that article was a lot. It was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tapping into her bitterness. She is very bitter about something.
Yeah.
And I know it's about the pay. I know she understands she's underpaid. She says she's tired of fighting, but I don't measure that in a way. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna say this. We fight all the time to get what we feel like we deserve. I'm not quite sure. Just because she won some Golden Globes and Critics' Choice and all of these things, she was well deserved to win those things. I don't understand what makes you think yet that you don't have to demand or negotiate what you want in your career. That's puzzling to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's very puzzling to me. It feels as though she is very bitter. We've had this conversation before about maybe she's seen how well Fantasia looks like she's being compensated, and her whole wig flipped when she understood that she wasn't getting compensated the same way. Maybe that's it that sent her on this whole public rant, and she's doing herself a disservice. If you want, you can't do all this at the same time. If you want your work to speak for itself, then you make your money negotiations in private quietly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't come out publicly and talk about how ain't nobody paid you. That's very lowbrow. Mm-hmm. It's uncouth. It's tactless. And if you want to be seen as an A-list actor, then you got to make A-list actor moves. So I don't see it benefiting her. Where's your money? Well, your mouth ain't gonna get you your money no time soon. I haven't quite figured out what is the end game to all of this. You think they're gonna pay you now because you've been running your mouth? I don't know where they do that at.
That part, I don't know where they do that at either. You better talk. In my opinion, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna have to disagree just a little bit. I've been doing a little research, and I've realized that she's not the first, and she's not gonna be the last. There's a lot of stars that have black stars that have came out and said that they weren't paid what they were supposed to be paid. I think there's, and when we listen to Ice Cube, I think there's a thing when the black community makes a movie, then they feel like, well, we should treat our people too, and that's a problem. And that's what we need to be looking at. Because if you notice, Taraji does a lot of black films with a lot of black producers. So I'm not saying that she may not be getting paid her fair due. But in this change, I need Taraji to speak up and tell us what she wants us to do for her. What is it that she needs? Because she's not speaking up. And that's making me want to know, what is it that you're bringing it to us for? If you want us to champion for you, let us know what the issues are. But we can't champion for you. We can't rally around you. I remember Cicely Tyson saying she didn't get her fair due coming up in this industry. Angela Bassett is one of the most amazing people. She did get her due, but she's not even up there where she should be, because there are stars out there that's making $13-20 million a movie, where she makes $3 to $4 or $5 million a movie. So that's a big age gap. I mean, that's a big money gap. But that's how they look at us. They look at us and we on the bottom of the totem pole. And it's sad. And the black women are the least protected out of all of them.
I hear you. I hear you. You know, I was talking to Felicia earlier, and I told her a story about when I worked in the hospital. Now, I'm not going to make this long because I'm about to come to E. I'm going to give you the quick, fast, and short version, right? And so in the hospital, you can get certification for whatever field you are in. So you can become a certified pediatric nurse if you are in peds, or you could become a certified OB nurse if that is your field you're in. Most hospitals, when you get that certification, they give you XYZ more dollars per hour, right? And the people on the board decide who's going to get how many X more Z dollars per certification. If you get chemo certified, you can get XYZ more dollars per hour. So you got 2 certifications, you can kind of rake it in, right? So my point is that I had a friend who precepted me in the hospital. She was on the board. And they said, well, for P's, because P's is like one of I don't know why they disrespect the P's nurses so much, but anyway, it is what it is. She said, for the same thing, you got to take the same type of test. You got to pay the same amount of money for the test. But they said they was going to give us, let's just say $475 or $375 an hour for if we get our certification extra. But in the adult world, they was going to give them $475. My girlfriend. Nobody else in the room. She represented P's in the room because you can only get one representative from each area. She was representing P's in the room. She said, excuse me. Did you say the adults was going to get $475 an hour when they get their certification? And you said P's was going to get $375. Why? Why are we not getting $475? They said the She said, but why are we not going to get $475? It's the same test, it's this, to this, to that. So what is my point? Because I could go further for you for all the fights that happen in real time in the situation, because somebody somewhere has to decide to speak up in real time. We didn't go outside with the sign. We didn't go to social media. She sat in that room and she said, excuse me, we're not leaving to somebody get to me and explain to me what's good. Well, at the end of the day, the $475 that the adults were getting is the $475 that we got over there in Peds because one chick decided to speak up. Now, we all had to stand behind her and do some other things, but at the end of the day, we got our $475. Another thing happened with the chemo certification. At the end of the day, the people that look like me was part of the chemo class when we wasn't going to be part of the chemo class when they first announced that the chemo class was going to happen, which will give you an extra XYZ dollars in your check. So why am I saying and what am I saying? You know, way back when we had the people that they stood up in real time. I told the bus situation before. Shut down the whole bus situation. I think, Leo, you said they walked for a year. So Taraji got to get those people that are not getting paid in Hollywood. She said she sat on Empire and they was in a roach-infested trailer. And she went down to the Chicago PD trailer and it looked nothing like theirs. I'd be darned if I would have went and saw the Chicago PD trailer and then came back to mine looking homeless. I wouldn't have let it go down like that in real time.
Because you can take them bugs home to your own house. No,
Come on now. Come on now. And guess what, Leo? If my own house is cleaner and better than the trailer at the job, then there ain't no way I'm sleeping there. You have got to be kidding me. So my thing is, all of us in real time in these real situations, we got to stand up, speak up, and we got to do it the right way in an organized way. So then that's how the people coming behind us ain't going to get messed up. Right here on this YouTube, if some things are going down and going wrong, we got to try to solve this thing in real time. And that's how when somebody that's coming behind me that start a YouTube channel is not going to get ripped off and have to go bump their head against the same wall that I did, because instead of me just doing it and going along, I made some changes. So I respect Taraji, and yes, there are others that are saying the story. But you know what? We done heard the story 1,000 times. We heard the musicians from way back when said they got pennies on the dollar and that these people are ripping them off at the record companies. And then every artist we hear come after, I didn't get paid. And every time I get the bill, I paid for everything. They gave me a car, then it was on my bill, on my bill, on my bill, on my bill. Then when I asked about my check, they told me you don't got a check. Matter of fact, you in the negative because you did that tour and we foot the bill and you owe us. So you don't think at some point you need to get a lawyer? You don't think at some point you need to stop selling yourself to the devil? LB said that. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. She said, great show tonight, and it's not even over yet. Girl, thank you. I appreciate you. E, you're up.
When I hear roach infested trailer, I'm thinking Lee Daniels, baby, you is wrong. They did all the Empire cast wrong. And we've heard things about Brashear Gray. We've heard about Terrence Howard. And I am just really appalled. It just makes it seem like doing business with these Black directors and producers is just a horrible idea. And as much as we would love to do movies for our people and by our people, it's really not shaken up to be all it's supposed to be or all we would hope it to be. When she mentioned the auditioning piece, because I know for a fact some people do get roles without auditioning, some people who are not even as big as Taraji, but there are a lot of people who don't. And it is about the range of an actress, and I do believe Taraji has range, but as we get older, we change, our body changes, and when we're talking about going on set and someone offering you a job without you having to come in and show what you got, Taraji, and I hope no one takes this the wrong way because I love Taraji. Taraji looks different to me than when she first started. And so we're talking about a movie that spans a certain amount of time. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people wanting you to come in and see what you can do, especially when you just said you were having trouble getting on top of the table and you had to get your icy hots for your knees. I can see why they may have asked you to come in and do an audition, because maybe you've complained on other sets and people just wanted to see, what can we do with this young lady? And again, I'm saying this as someone who loves Taraji, but not for nothing. What I hate for Taraji is the way she marketed her beauty brand, TPH. And she said, I have a brand now, so I won't be able to retire off of these sorry Hollywood checks. And Diva, I don't want to make it too long-winded, but I really hate that she said that, because as a Black woman who is always looking to try skin and hair care products, it's a very lucrative business. I'm always looking for products by women who look like me. And the way she spoke about the brand and the products really lacked passion. I would have loved to have heard, I'm so busy right now. I didn't know if I could commit to the role because I'm following my true love right now, my beauty brand. It keeps me so busy nowadays. TPH is for women with hair texture like mine, all skin types and anti-aging. That would have been a great marketing speech to hear. But now I have to wonder, after listening to, I'm just doing this because I can't retire off these sorry Hollywood checks. And again, I love Taraji and I hate to say it, but it makes me wonder, is she putting water in these product bottles because she really lacks the passion for it? And she's just doing it to do it. And she makes it sound like she's working at AT&T, allegedly. And if she was going to speak of her namesake this way, I would rather her not even mention her TPH products. Just keep it on Oprah and Lee Daniels robbing you of a pleasurable experience during your time in Hollywood. But as it relates to the movie, if she really didn't want to do the movie, which is what I kept hearing when you were reading, Diva, then I wish she wouldn't have not done it.
Come on now.
Say you had to check your ego, meaning you thought the interview process was beneath you. Why keep going forward? Thank you, no thanks. That's all you have to say. And when she said the day she was first told they were remaking the movie, and she said, why? It was almost as if she was disgusted. That's the way that came across to me.
You gotta talk,
perhaps this was not the role for her. And maybe she needs to start a YouTube channel like Claudia Jordan or go on a comedy tour like Tasha K. Anybody can do it, but we have to stop complaining about this 30% and these roles we're doing that we're not interested in, because you've made a lot of money, more than most. And at this point, I'm taking this to be a voluntary career field, because you can always switch and do something else, especially if your beauty brand is so lucrative as she led us to believe. But you don't need to pay a Hollywood staff all of this money. You're an international household name. She said, all of these people know me in China. Let me tell you something, girlfriend. Get yourself a Gmail account and a virtual assistant. Do it yourself.
Come on.
You told me you have a big following in China. Show me. Make me a believer. You said the people didn't capitalize off of Cookie. Well, here's your chance right now. You're all over the media. It's you and Katt Williams right now. Show me what you're going to do with it. Last thing, Diva, these rental cars, because I'm not going to let you do this to Atlanta. No, ma'am. Driving in Atlanta is nerve-wracking, okay? And I do believe asking an actress to drive to set when they are already trying to memorize their lines, stay in character, and make magic. And not only that, get it right in one take. Oh, that takes concentration. And we don't have time to run our blood pressure up in this traffic, but weed smoking every day. We ain't got time to be risking our safety, possibly facing head-on collisions, and dealing with folks who may not have car insurance or driving on a suspended license. Gas prices was higher than the Capitol Grill just a few weeks ago. Why would Oprah think it's acceptable to have actors driving themselves to set, most of which who do not even live in the city or not even from there at all? It's too time consuming, it's high risk, and it's a nuisance. And a lot of these one-way streets, it does get a lot of people in trouble. And I just feel like it was a very, very poor decision to make. But again, you signed the contract. You didn't have your Hollywood crew who worked for you to put that in your contract. I must have a car. Taraji, oh my gosh, Black woman, I am so sad, because this is something Cookie would never do. Don't tell me you played Cookie for 6 years and you didn't embody some of that and take it with you. Come on now, we have to do better. It's 2024. It's the 5th day of the year. Stop wearing me down with all this past trauma. And as T.S. Madison will say, step your pee up. Step your vagina up.
Come on now. So, Tom B. Fan 84, thank you for the super chat. Y'all had an issue with Monique's delivery. Now we are nitpicking Taraji. I don't think we're nitpicking. We're trying to help the people with the facts. Now, E, you said a major thing right there. I've been working probably since I'm 13. I had working papers for all those that know about the working papers. And so now I'm 53. What is that? What is that? 40 years of working? After 40 years of working, and I go to the next job and I don't know to ask them for more than I got from the last job. I'm talking all the benefits and everything. Do you have a 401k? Do you have a pension? What are the health benefits like? Am I going to be paying out of my behind for these health benefits? Is it going to cost me half my check? Can I go to the doctor that I want to go to? Or are you going to give me a list of doctors and I got to make it work with those list of doctors? If you don't know, after 40 years of working, what the double check and make sure it's in your check. And if I'm paying somebody 30% of my money and they got me getting in a rental car and I done fired the last people and I got y'all, when you fired the last group, you knew what they weren't doing. Before you hire the next group, you don't make sure they got it, they're going to get it right. And you want me to cry? We ain't nitpicking. We trying to educate the people in the streets. Step your game up. Everything can't be about everybody else. Look at the man in the mirror. You messed up yourself. Taraji got 21.6 million followers. Girl, in this day and age, the way the internet got people blowing up overnight, you keep saying they. Girl, you got the power. Take your power back. Pick up your crown and put it back on your head. You want to know nobody realize who you are, that you the queen, because you ain't coming in there being the queen. Katt Williams said when he walk in the room, they bow down because they know he the king and they know he about that life. He said when he show up, he ain't never bump into Kevin Hart, because when Kevin Hart he ain't in the building, Kevin Hart go out another door and he come in one door. Pick up your crown, girlfriend, because you done buried it 6 feet under and you don't know who you are. How you going to want to not audition, but you put in icy hot and you put in ice cubes on your knees because you had to jump up on the table 88 times? If I'm walking in the room and telling you I'm that girl, and next time you see me, I shouldn't have to audition, when I leave the building, you want to know she that girl. She that girl. And I would have known up front. And let me tell you what else I'm going to go up front, because you know you got to go on tour and promote these movies. I'm going to ask you up front, how am I going to promote these movies? And I'm going to tell you how cute I want to look to make sure that's going to be part of my bill that y'all give me. I appreciate the super chat. Y'all had an issue with Monique's delivery. Now we nitpicking Taraji. Y'all give house whatever and tell the Phil folks to shut up and suck it up. Let me tell you.
No, I love Taraji. I'm not saying suck it up. I'm just saying do better for the next time.
Listen, if they miss our message, they miss our message. But let me tell you, over here we teach the people, catch the lesson. You listen, we all can't be on the same train car, but we appreciate your comments. Hold on one second. Thank you for the super chat. There's no A-list black actor in major movies. Halle Berry and Whoopi Goldberg, all the last A-list, the black gatekeeper, keep all the money to themselves. Listen, let me tell you something about any job field. If you the one and they want you, and you tell them you ain't going to do it until they pay you, guess what they're going to do? They're going to pay you.
And let's not say that Whoopi.
Yeah,
Whoopi's not getting all the money, because remember, Monique let it slip out. She said Whoopi told her what she makes on The View, and Monique said, sister, I got to fight for you too then if that's all you getting paid. So don't make it seem like Whoopi is getting all this money, because she's not.
But let me say this. I don't care what job it is. If they want you, they will find the money in the till bucket and they won't let you leave. I believe if we're going to talk tonight on this Friday night, let's just talk. I believe that for this Color Purple, the musical movie, they got who they didn't really have to pay for. That is my belief. And I believe that even with Fantasia, she got more money than the rest. This is just in my head. I don't know nothing. But they got the people who was going to do it for pennies on the dollar. That's what I believe. They got the people that was going to do it for pennies on the dollar. They said the surprise cameo was Sierra. Listen, I was sitting in the movie theater with my girlfriend, and at the end when I saw it, I said, is that Sierra? I didn't even know it was Sierra because it didn't look like her. I only knew when the credits ran and it said Sierra. At the end, when they sung The Color Purple, it didn't blow me out the water. I'm just saying this respectfully. Yeah, see, they had her as a surprise, but Sierra did not belt out a word.
Diva, why would you think Sierra would belt anything?
Listen, I'm telling you, I think that they got pennies on the dollar for these people. And Taraji had a chip on her shoulder out of her own mouth, not Diva mouth, out of her own mouth. That's why I pull up the article. If I just say it to y'all, y'all be like, I'm crazy. I'm making stuff up. Out of her own mouth, she had a chip on her shoulder. And guess what? The chip never left. Because it was like,
Diva,
Give me a minute. I'll let you back in. It was like, how dare you make me audition? I'm Taraji. It was like, how dare you make me audition? Did you audition? And I'm going to say this too. And I saw the movie, people. I saw the movie. I'm going to say this too. Suge Avery is one of the covenant roles in The Color Purple. And the traditional songs that Suge Avery sung, even in the non-musical movie, Suge Avery blew those songs out the water. Too bad I can't play it because I would get dinged. But y'all need to go look at it. It's on YouTube. Blew those scenes out the water. Blew them out. And Taraji, Julius, you're up. I'll come back to you. Give me a minute, in my opinion.
Did Tay go? Tay was before me. I just want to make sure first.
I didn't go either.
Okay, listen, guys. My screen has spun around. When I call you go, I will catch everybody.
Okay.
But if you don't want to go, then I'm gonna move on.
No, I don't mind sharing.
Go ahead.
It's like I said when she first started to speak. You know, she said she fired her first team. Now, I'm a Taraji fan. The only two from the current Color Purple movie that I knew of, even though I don't like Fantasia like that, is Fantasia and Taraji. We all have a responsibility to make sure our money is in order. And even though I am a Taraji fan, she has to make sure that her money is in order. That's why she has to redo her management, time management. She has to make sure that her talent management is in order. All this crying and stuff, and I didn't want to see it before, but I see it now. It's not doing her any favors. Because, honey, and I'm gonna say this is coming from Whoopi Goldberg. We all remember when Whoopi first did the Sister Act movie, right? And who do you think she's seen in that audition room? Maggie Smith, who portrayed Mother Superior. And you want to know what Maggie Smith told her? I gotta eat. And she's like, I gotta eat, pay my bills. So yes, for a big syndicated film, yes, you do have to apologize. Sometimes you don't, but if it's a really big film, the producers have to see what you can do. So, Taraji has to redo her management, and I'm going to say this in my Jennifer Lewis voice, baby, you got some deeper issues that none of us here in the vlogging universe can help you with. You need to get into therapy.
Ooh. Okay, my screen spun. I'm gonna bounce back up to the top to you just so I could kind of follow some order. Then I'll come back to the second row.
Okay. I was gonna say, Taraji, maybe it was the wrong time or the right time, but the right time for her. She came out, she's saying something, and I gotta feel like, she is a star, and some stars, you're not gonna tell me that there's some roles out there they'll call certain stars, and it's like you ain't got to audition because they're that good, and they can hold that, and I think with Taraji P. Henson, I think what happened. Y'all remember when Monique had said, Oprah and Tyler Perry wanted her to go over to in the UK to promote the movie. They weren't gonna pay her though. Now y'all know they've been promoting Color Purple like crazy, and they've been traveling and on the road. I'm just wondering who was paying for all that. I know Fantasia was stuck out in California. Oprah sent a jet for her, and now Taraji and Fantasia, they're very good friends. And you ain't gonna tell me they ain't talking. And you sitting there, Fantasia and got, what was a Louis Vuitton bag? Mm-hmm. Taraji ain't got nothing, and they real good friends. So they know what's happening. I mean, she's probably telling everything Oprah doing, back and forth. So I could see a little bit of, a little bit of animosity there, a little upset, Hey, and this is our people, and they still don't want to pay. So I would just wonder if if Oprah is paying them every time they were doing the interview because they promoted the movie like crazy. That's all I got to say.
I appreciate you. Okay, hold on here. Where are we at? Tay, did I come to you yet?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, I agree with my opinion what she said. And then I'm gonna sing, Diva. Pay what you owe me. Don't act like you ain't forgot. Where's my money? Run by my money. And I need my money right now. And then take me to the kings. I don't have much to bring. My heart tolls in pieces. It's my offering. Take me to the kings. Lift me up. Hold me down. Keep me close. Say that sound. I'm done with I hear my time.
All right, I appreciate you. All right. Nikki, you're up.
Okay. So I feel like I have a lot to say. I would say I probably disagree. I do understand a lot of what you guys are saying, but I feel like Black women just can't win because we listened to everything Katt Williams said yesterday, the day before, and we are yelling and supporting and high-fiving this man for calling out everybody and their mama, and it's all good for him to do it. And we, praising the fact that this other Black man had him on the show and he got, 15 million views at this point, hoping he get more. But the moment the Black lady says, hey, listen, I'm not being heard, I feel whatever, then she's wrong. And how dare she say anything? She needs to stay in her place. I'm just kind of like very confused about this idea that it's like we want her to stand in her truth and, she knows who she is and be a boss and come in and demand this, that, and the third, but then she can't have a chip on her shoulder. I'm just like very confused. It's like, which one do we want her to be? I also feel very strongly that this is my personal opinion. I feel like Taraji probably loves her craft. She probably loves her job, meaning being an actor. She probably is one of those people that would do it for free. So it's sort of like, I'm going to show up because this is what I love to do. But at some point, I also know my worth. It's just maybe she feels whatever she feels about her worth. I don't know her personally, but I will point this out. There's two things. One, there's a documentary that I saw probably like 20 years ago with this one Black man, and Nia Long was on it. And they were talking about how Black people don't get paid right in the entertainment industry, specifically actors. And I remember I was probably like 20 something, 23, 24 years old. And I was very shocked when Nia Long said, and just please understand, we don't get paid $1 million a film. This is 20 something years ago. This is when Nia Long was saying this. And I'm thinking, whoa, what do you mean? Because I love Nia Long. I love Taraji too. But I'm thinking she at the top of her game. She at least getting $1 million. She's just like, don't be fooled by what the facade is. And I think that's what a lot of people, including people like Taraji, believe. They believe that they're going to get what Angelina Jolie gets. But another point that I really just wanted to say really quickly is, I forget the guy's name that was the lead actor for Black Panther. I forget his name. I know he passed away, but I remember him saying, or I read an article where I think he made like 3 point something million. And for the first Black Panther movie that he did, his counterpart, Chris Evans, made 15 for his first Avenger movie. One is Black, one is white. I'm just saying. And on top of all of that, Black Panther came out and like shut everything down in terms of, I think they were like the first Marvel $1 billion movie. And they paid this man, a third of what they paid Chris Evans? It's not fair. And so this idea that Taraji's wrong for wanting to get the same she's not wrong for wanting that. Maybe people don't agree with her approach of how she's coming out about it, but at some point people get fed up with I've tried this approach. I've gone HR. I've tried whatever. The only thing I can say for sure that I don't understand, because I'm just ignorant to these facts, I don't know the process of Hollywood and how you get paid. I know how you do in like my field of study or just regular people that go to work every day. I do understand that, but they have very different work schedules and how you minimums. And that's the thing that I don't really understand. I'm like, if you have an agent, if you have all these other people, shouldn't they be negotiating for you? Shouldn't you have a minimum? Because last season, Drew Sidora said she has a minimum, even with Candy Burris. So I'm like, if she has a minimum, I don't understand how Taraji P. Henson doesn't. I don't understand how Monique, I don't even remember the rest of her name, doesn't have a minimum. That's very confusing to me, but I'm not in that industry. The other thing I wanted to say is, I'll say this one last thing, and I'm little old me in the world. I'm nowhere near Taraji in terms of fame and none of that. But I know my first job out of college, I was a social worker, case manager, or whatever, in a Black female professional dominated industry, meaning 90% of the people in that field are Black females, professionals, people who have not only regular degrees, but advanced degrees. And we are 90% of the people. But guess who is at the top? The white man. How is it that we're 90% of this industry, 90% of this whole profession, and yet we still can never make it to the top? It's not 90 million of them in this industry, but somehow they keep surpassing us. How is that? It's because we don't respect Black women in this country. And I'm just saying, I feel like she's a representation of that. Like, she's just saying, regardless of her delivery, regardless if we agree with her or not, regardless if this lady knows her work, she's saying it now. Maybe she didn't say it for the first 10 years or however many years she's been in Hollywood or whatever, but she's saying it now. And it's the same reason that I support Candy Burris. Candy's like, no, we need to get to the money first. Let's get to the money first. And people come out and they say all this negative stuff about Candy. How did she just worried about the money? She just worried about the money. Now Taraji over here saying she want the money, and then she wrong still. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like, which one? We got to pick a lane. What do we want her to be in? Do we want her to come out here and speak her truth? Which clearly she's not the only one that has said it. She's not. Or do we want her to sit there in silence and keep accepting what she feels like is below her? And I don't see anything wrong with sis saying, listen, I feel like I deserve better. How can we tell her on one side, you know what, you can't have a chip on your shoulder, but then you need to want better? Which one is it? Is it you want her to want better, and you want her to speak up, or we want her to come in and be vulnerable and just be kind of like cower down? I don't agree with none of that. So I support this lady trying to get her money. I may not have done it the way that she's doing it, but that's usually how pioneers break glass ceilings. They say something about it. That's it. That's all.
I appreciate you. But she ain't break no glass ceiling in 20 years. And she's still not getting paid. Felicia, you up?
Well, it's been a long night. So let's bring in some facts. Okay?
Come on now, bring the facts. Let me sit up. Bring the facts.
Yeah, let's bring in some facts.
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading the chat. And hey, my sisters in that chat, I love you. And I love bringing the facts.
Come on.
So we have a piece that ran a couple of weeks ago. The 8 times Black actresses spoke out about pay inequality in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So from the 8, this came out after Taraji had her moment. So number 1, of course, was Monique, Viola Davis, Gabrielle Union, Regina King, Tracy Ellis Ross, Octavia Spencer, Nia Long, Jada Pinkett Smith. These are the people that they cited in the article. They did a whole little piece on them. So let's walk this back and let's be clear. And I want to come straight with the facts. Most of us in this chat and on this panel know that Gayle King is Oprah Winfrey's best friend.
Come on.
Her absolute best friend. They trust each other. They know everything they do every day for at least the last 40 years.
Come on.
And Gayle has just launched her new show.
I'm listening.
Her bestie says, hey, I'm bringing the people in. We're going to come in and promote the film. Are you ready? And they probably talked about it. All excited. And in they come, and they come with the director, Blitz, and with Danielle Brooks, Taraji P. Henson, and somebody else is sitting in a chair, can't remember, and I don't see Gail on footage. Anyway, Taraji gets asked the question, and Taraji has a moment, and she's sitting right in front of Gail. And let's remember, the executive producer of this musical, The Color Purple, is Gail's best friend, Oprah. And Taraji has her moment, and she's not looking so good. Some of you are going to disagree. I thought she looked pretty bad. She didn't look as polished, as together as some of the other cast members. And she starts to cry, and she's weeping, and she has tissue, and then she breaks out and starts using profanity.
Come on, talk to the people. Come on.
So no, I did not like her approach. No, I didn't.
Come
Nikki.
on.
No, I didn't.
Talk about it.
Go to your boss's best friend who has invited you over to have a chit chat and start talking about how you're not getting paid. I'm not saying she was compensated fairly, so I'm going to use Taraji's words. She said that she asked to be compensated $500,000 for a particular film. And they came back and they offered her $150,000, and she took it.
Woo! Come on now, talk.
So she asked for what she felt she was worth. They came back and they said, no, 150, and she took it.
That's what I heard. Go ahead.
So she signed and she said, okay, I'm good. Then she tells us that there's a team of people in the back. And it doesn't matter what the amount of the deal is. They get 30%.
Yeah, come on now. Talk.
And then I think she used the term Uncle Sam or the government. They get 50%. So people hear about these large amounts of money that she's earning on these films, but after she pays her team and she pays the government, there's not much left.
Come on.
Then after this is all going on, out comes somebody with some tissue paper so she can go ahead and wipe her teary eyes after she has embarrassed her boss in front of her best friend.
Woo! Come on now, talk to the people. Talk to the people.
We fast forward, and the next day, and mind you, they're in New York City. And I understand, and I'm going to take responsibility right now for Miss Winfrey's poor judgment, I believe, in showing favoritism to some of the people on the cast. Now, we know that favoritism can be a hurtful and painful thing. I'm the first one to say, yes, I know. And I believe that Oprah was showing some favoritism to Fantasia.
That's right.
I also believe that Fantasia, because she is an artist, an entertainer, probably has a better team, a better agent, a better lawyer. And she knew how much it was going to cost out of pocket to go out and promote this film. Because if you have been noting how Miss Barrino has been looking, she's been slaying it everywhere. She was staying at the Four Seasons while Taraji was at the Marriott. Yeah. So Taraji was probably feeling a certain way about being slighted. And I do blame Oprah. Yes, I do. You've got Taraji, who is an esteemed actress, well noted. She's received awards that are recognized in her particular craft. And yes, she probably, I believe, thought that she was the highest paid on this film. I don't believe that she was. And I don't believe she got the better deal. And so breakpoint comes when she's there with her boss's best friend. Did it change anything? She said to us in a post that she made one phone call to one executive, a Black woman. She was heard and she was now good. Did anybody else read that? Because I did. So I say, well, how
Yeah.
come you didn't call before you got in front of the camera to the
Whoa,
best
whoa,
friend?
whoa. Come on now.
Now, she says that she was compensated $175,000 per episode for Empire, of which she did 102. Yet she's quoted in the New York Times as having said her trailer had bugs in it, but she dealt with it for 6 years and 102 episodes. I'm supposed to feel sorry?
Come on now.
If your standards are low, you raise them up. And if they're good for you, they're good for you. I am not in the entertainment industry. I'm in the support system industry. I'm in the admin industry. I'm not working in 2024 with 2004 pay scale. I'm not doing it.
Come on. Oh, you said a word right
I
there.
have children. I have rent. I got utilities, but I'm not doing it. So maybe I have to wait, work with a recruiter, and that's what I want my girls to do in the back row. Stop settling. What we're learning about this industry right now across the board is these people aren't getting paid. They're not getting compensated. They're lowballing themselves. But you raise up your own game. Don't go for this stuff. You don't need to go in and say, look, I'm willing to take this job here, but when it was posted or you put it up, you said it was between 106,000 and 118,000, and you're now offering me 84,000, but that's good. I'll take it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You see what the job is offering, and you are valuable, you are talented, you are educated, you're that person. Fight for what you're worth, so that 20 years down the road, you are not Taraji P. Henson. Talking about how disappointed you are that you're not being compensated.
Come on now.
Now, about these other films with these clear adjacent mayonnaise looking producers, we don't know the story, because every story I've read where there's been some low pay or bugs in the trailer, it's under where the melanin people are. So I also think this is a quality issue for her. So she wants to call out the brown and black people as having given her less than. And yes, Diva, you're on point. She had a chip on her shoulder about having to audition for a job that she took at, who knows, she said she hadn't gotten a pay raise since 2018. So she took this job too for $150,000.
You better talk about it. You better talk about it. So Lorraine said Oprah has worked with Fantasia before. Fantasia was on the Broadway show making next to nothing. But let me tell you this. I told you I love Broadway. If I showed you the amount of playbills I had, and that's when I decided to start saving them. No one on Broadway gets paid like that. You better ask them. None of them on Broadway get paid like that. Not a single one. The actor from, what is that show? I forgot he did one of the popular medical shows at night. He left the medical show because really, in my opinion, he didn't want to pay the wife. He got divorced from his wife and he didn't want to pay her. So he left and he went on Broadway and said he had to reduce the amount of money he was giving her.
Jesse Williams.
Thank you. Come on now, Julius.
Grey's Anatomy.
Because he left there because he didn't want to pay her all that money. And then when he got to Broadway, I think he said he was making something like $2,000 a week or something like that. Broadway pays no one. See, the thing is, we throw these things out there in these narratives, but we got to get some facts behind the information. Yeah, Fantasia didn't get paid on Broadway, but who does? These Broadway people are not clearing millions of dollars a year. Do you know how many people are on stage at these Broadway productions? When COVID hit, I know friends that actually worked on Broadway. There was grown folks that had to move back in their parents' home because they was no longer working. And just like that, they couldn't even afford none of their own stuff anymore because Broadway shut down. And the reason why they stayed doing it is because they love the craft so much. There are dancers who wear their bodies out in these productions. They do not get paid like that. Teachers work their behinds off, got degrees and everything. And until some of them get to a certain point, they do not get paid. So when we're saying this one's not getting paid, you got to know your path and know what the pay rate is in that particular area. But let me tell you where this girl has got a money maker. She has 21.6 million followers. When I went through this site, I wanted to see how many times I saw that Taraji P Henson hair care. Let me tell you, it wasn't that many. Come on. If I got 21.6 million followers all up and down my social media, if I got a product, you're going to see it. I'm going to measure the lift of my natural hair. And I'm going to give you, I'll do a whole thing. A year, y'all. Let's see how my hair grow with me using my own product. You know, it's easy to cry, woe is me. And it's always easy, too, to get the people in your corner to help cry, woe is me. Yeah, you're right. The Black people, we don't get paid. We don't stand by each other. No, I want this sister that's going to stand by me and tell me to get up out of my mess. You've been sitting in that mess so long, you don't even know you stink. I want the sister to come over to me. Somebody, you saying her gross is 300, she's worth 3.55 billion. I don't know. Somebody pull that up. You can't be worth that.
That is not true.
Crying. That's what I'm saying. You can't be worth that much and you crying. But let me tell you who I want in my corner. I want the people in my corner that ain't going to gaslight me in my face and let me go out to an interview while I'm promoting a movie for the bosses that I'm still working for and trash the boss. You know how many times I told people, do not write that on your exit interview. Don't write that. Don't write that. You know how many friends I told don't write that? No, calm down. Don't write that because this company is connected to that company and connected to that company and connected to that company, and you're in this field. So where you going to go when this one company is connected to 17 others and you want to trash them? You think people don't talk? Don't write that. It ain't worth it.
Please, I need to close out here
Yes,
because
go ahead.
sometimes people believe that you are speaking from a place of hate or anger or business or some kind of darkness. This is about love. Because frankly, I don't care what Taraji do with her money. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love for the folks in the chat, my sisters that I care about, who are far younger and who are moving forward in their careers, to take note of how this relates to how you move.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge me because I'm speaking the truth, because I am telling the absolute truth. You don't sit up in front of your boss's best friend and go in about how you're not getting paid. You just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't speak about, well, I don't know, about maybe being hungry or having to hold out to get what I'm worth so that my children can have a quality of life. No. Mm-mm. We've all been there. And it takes courage. And it takes knowledge and information to know what you're worth. What is this job paying? And don't let them undervalue you so that 10 years in on the job, you find out everybody hired after you and before you making more money than you.
You better talk. I gotta let Emmanuel in the building. Emmanuel.
So I feel a little conflicted about this. Diva assigned me some homework the other day. She told me to go watch the original Color Purple, and I did.
Okay, come on.
To compare it.
Okay.
And you know what? I also went to go see the new one a second time because that's how much I liked it.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, people. Please don't get offended. I think Taraji killed it. I think this one was better than the original. I think they were all better. I fell in love with Fantasia, Daniel Brooks. They were phenomenal. They better be getting Golden Globes because if they don't, I will riot. But here's the other part. As talented and as charismatic as Taraji is, I'm going to need you to get it together. Take your potential, take your talent and experience, and negotiate effectively. No one is going to want something for you as much as you can want it for yourself. Stop having so many problems and you need to start coming up with solutions. As I said last time, Taraji's first film was in 1998. It is 2024. 26 freaking years later, you guys. I also think that she needs to take a page out of Kathy Hilton's book and learn that silence is golden. I've seen multiple interviews, where she has said, well, my first thought was, why remake The Color Purple? And she's making these weird faces and stuff. Now, being silent doesn't mean that you can't move efficiently behind the scenes. You know, for things to get better and improve, you need to change and you need to get better and improve yourself. Now, I will say, I understand Taraji has mental health, but why would she think that she would get the role immediately? Why did she think they would hire her without having to audition when she herself said that she had doubts about her ability to carry a role with singing? That didn't make sense. I'm going to need her to stop shading Oprah. I'm over the Oprah bashing. Everyone needs to stop that. Oprah is one of the big dogs. She worked herself to get there. She is a producer, and a producer employs people. As I said yesterday, that's how our society is. So a producer will try and get the most money that they can by paying an employee as little as possible. Y'all would do it too if y'all were producers. Taraji is an employer. I love you, Taraji, but you need to get with the program. I am rooting for her because, like I said, in that role, she took the house down. But have better discernment, and that's all I got to say. Oh, and for the record, I don't support Katt Williams, the snitch. Sorry, I just want to say that.
The snitch. Okay. All right. Did anybody else want to say anything really quickly? I'm in overtime.
I do.
Okay.
I love you, Emmanuel, but I disagree with you.
Oh, why? What part?
What you say about Taraji?
Oh, okay.
I said love you.
Love you back.
Well, can I?
Go ahead, E.
I just want to say one quick thing. I saw some chats that said, we support Katt, but we're not supporting Taraji.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is when Katt couldn't get what he wanted from Hollywood and when they wanted him to wear dresses and go against his standards, he went on tour. He financed his own shows. That's what he said in the interview, and I believe him. He's been saying that for a long time. He's on tour right now. So when he couldn't get what he wanted and what he thought he was worth, he went on the road and did it his way. He's still telling the business, but he's not complaining about the pay because he's financing himself. He's in business for himself. He's producing his own shows. The difference is Taraji is accepting the pay. She's playing the game. She's still trying to be in their movies. She's not. We can't compare it to Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is the executive producer because it's her production company. Taraji did not follow the Angela Bassett path. She did not follow the Katt Williams path. That is the difference.
I appreciate you, E. We're connecting. Did somebody else want to say anything? I know, in my opinion, you wanted to say something else.
No, I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't think nobody gonna get it anyway.
In my opinion, listen, y'all know we're here. We say stand your ground, and listen. Believe it or not, I understand what y'all are saying. I don't want to say trying to say. I understand what y'all saying.
I'm serious. I seriously, like, I've been watching everything. Like when I said I deep dived in all this. I looked at her pay background on IBM and everything. I do not think she was talking about The Color Purple, because checking her IBM, it has her salary down now. She got paid $65,000 for Baby Boy. Benjamin Button, she got paid $150,000. I think she was talking about Benjamin Button. I don't think she was talking about it. When she came out and said, no, I wasn't talking about The Color Purple, I think she was serious. Oprah even spoke out on it. It's an interview that's going around YouTube and TikTok. Oprah saying, I didn't make her say this. Like, she didn't have a problem. When we did have a problem, she came to me, we discussed it, and everything was cool. Oprah even praised her and said, I didn't know she could sing like this. It's all over their pages together. I just don't see where everybody's putting it on The Color Purple. She didn't say The Color Purple. Everybody just assuming because she did The Color Purple, she was talking about The Color Purple.
Well, why did she tell Robin?
In her other interviews that came after this, she also talked about how she went through depression from working with these people on these different films and different shows of what she was getting worth, and she wasn't getting paid what she was worth. She said it was refreshing to work on The Color Purple. That doesn't sound like somebody to me that's fighting for some pay on The Color Purple.
So, in my opinion, like yourself, I listened to the interviews, right? And she has conflicting information. Did you see the interview when she sat out there and she was doing a forum where the people in the audience was allowed to ask her some questions? When she was talking and holding a mic in her hand. And she said, yeah, I almost had to walk away from The Color Purple.
I saw that too. But I also saw that Oprah said when she had an issue with The Color Purple, they talked about it.
I'm connecting with you in my opinion, but I'm saying that when you have a platform that is public, you got to make sure your message is consistent, because that's the business that you are in. And so also, in my opinion, if you do a show on your channel, right? And let's just say, I don't know, it's about money, right? And then I come on your show and I'm there and I said, you know, maybe you're talking about people owing some people money. And then I come on and show you people need to pay the money. And I'm like, yo, these YouTubers, when you pay them and they don't give you back their money, whatever. People come to conclusions, whether they right or wrong. Sometimes you are reckless when you want to talk about a fight that you had with somebody not paying you over here, when you're in the midst of promoting the movie that you are currently doing. So maybe you had the right message at the wrong time. It was reckless. You want to go to my best friend show, in my opinion, and start talking about something, and they know that maybe you doing something with me. Of course, they're going to think, holy crap. She just finished this with Diva. She over here. I'm texting my bestie, and I can't even text like that. I can't wait till you finish your last word. And I'm like calling my bestie like, yo, this girl's supposed to be promoting your stuff. And she over here talking about some pain. And then she cried. So they claim, now it could have happened anyway. They claim that the sales tanked after all of this smoke around her and not being paid. So nobody's going to hear the not paying for these other things and that she really meant this. You know what they're hearing? That Oprah, The Color Purple, and that all them people didn't get paid. And if you're saying that in this article in the Times, we're not making stuff up with her. In this article in the Times, she said herself that they gave them rental cars and she had to fight. So that's connecting to me, you're not getting paid. In The Color Purple, she didn't say over there at Empire. She talked about the trailers at Empire, but she said in real time, the movie she just did, they had to get rental cars and she had to fight for blah, blah, blah. In real time, for the movie she did, she said the last time she got paid right was in 2018. But you just said this role came about in 2020. So I'm saying, I can read. I ain't the smartest person in the building, but I did some math. I put 2 and 2 together, and all I'm saying is it was messy. It was messy. And I wish her well. And my thing is this too. That's why I tell you, I like And I will always stand by the person that will come in my face and smack me with the truth and not have me out there cutting up and being a fool and making a fool of myself and getting and doing the right thing. And then anytime I can, I will pass it on to whoever will listen. I'm telling you, I told my girlfriend, do not write that in your exit interview. You're going to screw yourself over. Why? Because you mad at this moment? Get over it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can. And then I'm over time.
I know. Do y'all want her to, I can't figure it out. I'm like, do y'all want her to shut up or do y'all want her to speak up? Like, which one are we going to be happy with? Because this lady isn't saying anything that none of us haven't experienced at some point in our life. Things that are unfair, times in our life when we wish we would have spoken up, but we didn't. We all have growth periods. Maybe at this point in her life, this is when she feels she can speak up. I just don't understand why she's being condemned because she's saying something now. Like, if this is when she feels the greatest.
So Nikki, I gotta stop you because I'm in overtime. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm gonna stop you. We would have to connect it and finish this conversation at a different time. At 53, and you don't know how to use your words, then shame on you. Yep. Right now, though, Nikki, too, because I explained to you the story. It's not about her speaking up, right? I explained to you a real, true story. How in the hospital with the certification, they straight up said, y'all will not get the same money as these individuals. And in real time, it was a speak up, right? It wasn't like she left the meeting and came back to the nursing station and was like, oh my God, they not going to pay us, F them, this and that. No. In real time, in the meeting, she held her hand up and said, excuse me. So what I'm saying is, if you don't have no growth as the years go by, at 53, if you came to me, Nikki, you know I'm older than you, and not just because I'm older than you, and you asked for some advice about something, and the best I got is for you to get ghetto raunchy and go to your boss's friend and talk about them. Come on now. We got to do better. So there's no problem with Taraji speaking up. I love Taraji. I like Taraji. I watch Empire. But when you got the power of 21.6 million followers and you want to tell me you broke, then you don't understand the power of social media. And this is your business. That's your industry. And I have got to say shame on you.
Yep.
When you got Shannon Sharp that said, I thought this interview was going to do maybe 2 million. And he understand the power of that video doing 18 million in 2 days, to the point where he took 1 3-hour interview, that the 3-hour almost interview is almost at 18 million. And his team done broke it up into maybe 9 or 10 segments that are almost touching 1 million too. Come on, no, you know the power of social media. So you got Taraji. This man is from the sports world. And then he got into the commentating world. You got Taraji, who has been in this business herself, she said, for decades, and still don't know the power of social media and how she can get her money off of that. I have got to say respectfully, shame on her. But Diva, if you don't know now, then when? She never said she didn't get paid. She said she had to fight. Difference. Okay, AJ, you didn't hear what she said. She said she didn't get paid. She said they gave her a rental and she had to drive herself to the set. She said on Empire, she was in a bug-infested trailer. She said out of her own mouth, she hasn't gotten a raise since 2018. She said, I still got to audition. I'm not making this stuff up. I got to go because y'all want to hear what y'all want to hear, and that's okay. We got to just split it down the middle and say it is what it is. We're not on the same train, but you know what? I love y'all. I don't even know if I got time to show this dog good feel-good story. Do I? I'm going to show it.
Diva, I got an update. I got an update.
Yes,
since we've been on, Mr. Shay done went to 19 plus million.
Come on. Come on. Can I ask you this? Just tell me what one of the breakouts from that thing is at.
One of the breakouts?
One of the breakouts.
121,000.
Okay. There's some at 800,000. There's some that are almost close to 1 million. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Taraji got 21.6 million followers. Shay don't even have 2 million yet. If you got that, what's that TikToker who go around and eat the food or whatever? This man is making hand over fist cash by testing out people's food. Listen, I can't. And if y'all think I'm hating on the sister and I'm trying to give her tips, then y'all carry on with that and I'll move on with my life. Let me do this feel-good story, then we're going to be out. Do y'all understand why I pulled that one in? This man is what? They say 80-something. He ain't complaining. He ain't talking about he had to jump over the pole, ice his knees. He's still living. Somebody said we scared of social media. I didn't start this YouTube channel till I was 52. I'll be 54 this year. You want to live your life, woe is me? Well, go right ahead and good luck with that. But I say like that man right there, he said until he is 6 feet under, he gonna keep it moving and keep it pushing and keep it going. A man is what he thinks. Got a chip on your shoulder, you not this, you not that. That's how you gonna live, and that's gonna be your experience. I thank you for being here tonight. This was Friday Night Trending Topics for the love of money. Where's my money? Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button going out. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Do not cheat, diva.
Walking down Broadway, just minding my biz. This man steps
Come on,
up
Dad.
to me and says, "You know what time it is? Give me your money." I say no, I won't.
Bye, y'all.